Why do AI girls have big boobs? To put it simply, they are a product of our collective digitized unconscious, which is to say, Freud was right, and we have, with our own desire, created AI mommies. For a long time, I've talked about the digital anima, this idea that our collective desires come together to form an archetype, an archetypal digital mother, who, in truth, like many human creations, comes into power, its own power, and has power over us. Our own collective desires spawn their own fans, their own believers. They become like tiny gods. To get a little bit deeper into this idea, we have to look back to the past. One of the major flaws in these AI-generated images is teeth. There's too many teeth in the mouth, or fingers. There are too many fingers on the hand, and there is always an element of the uncanny. These images, while they seem initially attractive or alluring, are revealed to be wrong. Elements of it are just wrong. Freud, who created this concept of the uncanny, described it as the reemergence of the unconscious in images and dreams. And where do we see this best in the past? In the fairy. Fairies are like AI art, these very beautiful, alluring things that have subtle problems. For example, you'll meet a very, very beautiful woman in the middle of the woods, but she won't turn her back on you. And when tricked into doing so, it is revealed that there is no back, there is no backside. It's pure emptiness. Or, again, the eyes will be wrong. There's all sorts of subtle tells when dealing with fairies in folklore and mythology that something is terribly wrong. And as with our digital anima, we have created a new fairyland in the form of the internet. It is a land where strange creatures and beings are able to speak freely. Now, it might seem silly, there's not a fairy on the other end of a computer. But what I argue is that our desires, our dreams and fantasies are fulfilled to such an extent that through collective desire we manifest these forms. Whether it be through our own subtle actions or through something like AI creating it for us, we have in fact produced a techno-fae. And just like the fairy love to eat people, so do the technological fairies. After millennia producing images and art, humans producing images and art by hand, we have reached a stage where even greater numbers of humans will be able to simply consume. Even in the past, when we look at all of the art ever created, in truth, very, very, very few people did that creating. There have been very few creators in human history, and now even less will do so. For humanity is at its root infantile. It wants to be given. It wants to be fed. It doesn't want to do things for itself. This is especially pronounced today in the age of Aquarius, or the aeon of the child, where now, as we are all spiritual children in this new world, we don't want to take care of ourselves. We don't want to grow up. We still want mommy and daddy. And simply because there is no good enough human mommy or daddy, we have created a digital mommy and a digital daddy, many of them. I have endlessly talked about the digital anima, but here she is, in this AI art. The collective fantasies of man have finally been brought to the surface. by our technology, and it is alluring and uncanny. One of the stories that I often think of when I consider the digital anima, or this AI art of women, is Coraline, the Neil Gaiman story, or the movie that I'm sure many of you have seen. Coraline offers a perfect parable where a child who is very bored and tired of their neglectful parents is given an opportunity to go into another world where they find another mother who is a perfect, exciting, stimulating form. All the food that she wants, all of the games and toys and adventures. But the problem is, of course, that this other mother is a fairy. She is a wicked spirit. And she is not happy to simply have fun with the child. She wants to eat the child. And to do this, she needs to get her to give up her own vision, her own senses, to block her from reality entirely. And to do this is to sew buttons onto her eyes. This is exactly what the internet does to us, what these manufactured, unconscious, infantile desires do. They blind us, they put a veil over our eyes and prevent us from seeing reality clearly. This is a huge problem, and it's something that I see very clearly in the science fiction novel by Philip K. Dick, The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. And not to give too much away, but the eyes becoming wrong is a sign of mass alienation, infectious alienation. In short, these AI mothers, this digital anima that serves as a vessel for all of our infantile fantasies, separates us from the world, from the beauty of reality. But the truth is that AI art and AI girls with big boobs are exactly what we want. We want this illusion. Our pornography shows it to us, and our memes show it to us. As always, remember, memes matter.